Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. Na me una pikin Capo Daniel, the chairman for the Ambazonian People's Rights Advocative Platform. I want to drop on this small message. We believe in the civil liberty of our people and the rights of the people of Ambazonia for West Cameroon Anglophones. Una ran see wetin happen today for Bamenda, where they shoot Brazzaville's motor, he enter key people them for Bamenda. Now Ayabacho, he boys them. And all man wey dey for Ayabacho, a group where they work share a picture them be culpable for such extreme actions. Say they want to fight against Brazzaville. Brazzaville don't buy Guinness. So if you want to fight Brazzaville, fight Guinness also. It no still makes sense. We encourage our boys to pick up arms in self-defense to defend their communities against a brutal repression orchestrated by Paul Biya and his CPDM regime. Instead of using our soldiers to defend their communities, they have turned those soldiers against their very own communities we seek to defend. Our soldiers are now engaged in illegal taxation that is just a smokescreen for extortion. These are being done primarily by Ayabacho, his cohorts, and it must stop. We must make a distinction between politically motivated activities on ground zero and individuals who fight for their own personal interests and not the public interest. This struggle was about the boys picking up arms to defend their communities. It is now boys picking up arms to fight against their own communities. It is no longer our activists defending their communities. They are now defending their groups and their own perceived leaders. This partisanship and the delusion where everybody is a black leg that have taken over this struggle that is being pushed by Ayabacho and his small group of people must be resisted by our people. We must make a distinction between the struggle for the Anglophones, for self-determination, and individuals who pursue partisanship that is against the interests of our public and have put our public at peril. Our public is basically in a hostage situation. On one side, extreme forces of Ayabacho that blurs the actions of legitimate Ambazonian fighters and Cameroon oppressors. Our people must understand this dynamic, and we cannot abandon the plight and aspiration of our people into the hands of criminals and murderers of our own, people who attack our own communities, kill our own people, and extort them. We must fight for our people. We of the Ambazonian People's Rights Advocative Platform, it is in view of this partisanship, this virus of delusion that have plagued our liberation struggle, have taken the choice to ravish what we can from the ground zero to demand for an alternative solution that is going to protect the public interests. This is the only way to fight for independence. Because of activities of extremists amongst us, our population are increasingly being isolated from the struggle, and eventually Cameroon will have a total victory on the ground. We will not allow that to happen. We must catch out now and look for a just, peaceful solution and demand for devolution of Cameroon to grant authority and power for self-governance to our people through the act of self-determination and constitutional changes so that our identity can be preserved, our territorial integrity can be preserved, and we can avoid a total loss scenario that is being pushed down our throat by the extreme wings of our liberation movement. We should continue to fight to defend our communities against Cameroon army and against actions and policies of Ayabacho that specifically threatens the peace of our people and target our people with violence. They have committed war crimes that are recorded by international organizations, equally calling on the international community to rain down President Paul Biya and his cohorts for the war crimes that have been perpetrated back in ground zero. We cannot trust the Cameroon government to investigate war crimes that have been perpetrated by its army. There are no public trials for Cameroon armies that have been arrested for raping our own people. There is no transparency and there is no guarantee that the government who pursues this policy of oppression and aggression will be able to rain down its own. We stand for the people's rights, we stand for the people's interests, and we stand for the people's aspiration for an independent homeland. Right now, we do understand and accept that independence by liberation have failed. There is also no feasibility for any recognition of Ambazonian independence. The only thing we can do is to ask for self-governance. One Cameroon, two people, where both Francophones and Anglophones, West Cameroon and East Cameroon, can coexist as peaceful people in the same house under different government, where we can manage our own budget, run our own affairs, protect our own civilians, and ensure that effective governance for development and the betterment of our people can be instituted in our land. We cannot accept the corrupt nature of Cameroon chop-a-chop politics. We want a government for our own people, by our own people. We want a police for our own people, by our own people. We want to manage our own fire brigade, municipal police. We ask for a devolution of Cameroon, constitutional changes that will guarantee the respect of our rights and the rights of our citizens and their territorial integrity and their international personality, and above all, their identity as English people from the former British Southern Cameroon. God bless you all.